What's up YouTube, this is Genesis 121 giving you guys an update on the 140 gallon mixed reef aquarium. Alright, so first off, told you guys previously before that I was doing a little experiment as far as not doing any water changes, and it had its pros and its cons. Some things worked out. My nutrient levels didn't rise too much, but I did start seeing an increase in algae on some of the rocks, and some of the corals were kind of losing some of their color, so I did decide to stray away from that and get back on my water change. I did a pretty large water change, and immediately the next day a lot of the corals started coloring back up, so everything looked pretty good. Another change that I did to the tank was I did drop my temperature. I used to keep it around 79 degrees, and now I dropped it down and I keep it at 78. It just seemed like a better area for it to be at. So another thing I planned on doing, I was on Atlanta Reef Club and bought some T5s, and right now I'm running 3 of these full spectrum LED lights. You can see I've got 3 of them going across there, and what I plan on doing is, as supplemental lighting, I'm going to add some T5s here in the front, so in this area up here, and then 1 in the back. It'll be 4 bulbs total, 4 of the 4 bulbs, and they will all be going against there. 2 of them will be the 10K, and then the other 2 will be the Aquatics. My tank's total length is 84 inches, and the T5s will be sitting at 72 inches. So I'll have a little bit of space on the edges of the tank that won't be covered, but the only thing in those areas are low light corals. So the main reason for me doing that is trying to get some good growth out of my SPS section over here, trying to really have some of these acros take off. So besides that, as far as additions, I haven't really added too much livestock. You can see here I added this Welso, and it's got a lot more color than what you're seeing here that the camera can pick up, but it looks pretty good. It's been doing pretty good. It's a little bit too much light, so it's a little bit bleached, so I've been moving it around more to a shaded area. I've also I beefed up my cleanup crew, and I added a bunch of snails, a bunch of hermit crabs. I've added a couple emerald crabs. Added just everything. The main thing I added too was this sea hare, and man, this thing is a beast. I mean, this guy goes to town. I mean, I had quite a bit of this film algae, and he's just cleaned it up. You can just see areas that are just like white now, and that's where he's just gone across. He's like a lawnmower, especially over here in my SPS section. You can see down kind of in the cracks and the crevices where it's some film algae there, but then how he's like sucked it up and cleaned it up real nice. So that guy is really gone to town. As far as the livestock, all the fish have been doing great, healthy, growing. The corals, this left side of the tank here was my Zoopali section, and it just hasn't been doing good. You can see I've had some growth on some of them, but if you recall from some of my early videos, this was full of a bunch of different colored corals. bunch of different frags, and now it's only a couple that have made it. I mean, if you look here, this used to be my eagle eye zoa colony, and you can look now and just see how they've just melted away. Have no idea what happened, but if anybody can give me an explanation, I'd appreciate it. But just a lot of these corals just melted away over here on this side of the tank, unfortunately. So I haven't been buying any zoas or pallies. Not sure. I might rebuild this side again. We'll see. But it'll definitely be like last priority for me. I am getting a little bit of cyano on the side of the tank too. It's a low flow area, so yeah, gonna probably do something about that to try to clean that up. The GSP has been growing really good. Duncans keep increasing. They got splitting a bunch of heads. My rose bubble tip anemone's been doing great. Target feed it at least once or twice a week. I had a money cap right there, a green one that I fragged off, and then I put my purple money cap back there. A couple more money caps, and I just want to add some more in this whole section here. My euphyllias, they've been doing great. Frog spawn's growing. The two hammers are growing, really popping up more heads on them. My octo spawn is doing good. It's been growing as well. I did add a torch back here, but unfortunately it didn't make it, so I was a little upset about that, but I may try a torch once again and see what happens there. Got my Kenya tree here and the coat coral, both doing good. My leather toadstool, this thing's just getting massive. The pulsing zinnia, they keep growing, spreading over that whole rock there. And my whole little section with all my candy canes here, those have been doing good. And my clam, this thing just keeps moving. I keep pushing it back further, and when I push it back, it always makes its way up here closer towards the tank, so that's a little annoying, but whatever. And then SPS section over here. My Starry Night Acro's been doing good. I've fragged that a couple times. And then my big colony of my tricolor acro, been fragging that as well. So a lot of growth coming off of there. And just got a couple little frags here of some acros. My stylo, getting some good growth out of there. And my Aura Greens bird's nest, getting good growth out of that. I did move my Monty over here to this side. It was bleaching out when it was over there. It was getting too much light, so it's a little less light over here, so hopefully it does better. And then my Shroom Garden. You can see all the different various shrooms I got growing. This colony back here is just splitting off more and more heads. And then my Favia and War Coral, both of those back there. So that's all the corals. Everything's been doing pretty good. Still have plans to fill up a couple more areas, but yeah, it'll be some areas that I'm throwing some frags in, especially acro frags in this area here, and letting those grow out. Probably gonna put something down here, not sure yet of what coral we're gonna put there, and then just throw a couple plates, fungias down here, something like that, and that'll pretty much do it for this tank as far as stocking. Yeah. So take you guys downstairs. Alright, so finally it's happened. I got a chance to upgrade my skimmer. I'm now running the Coral Box D700 Skimmer. Shout out to Leo Pazzo. I saw this on his channel. He did a full review of it, and I was like, that's definitely the one I want to get. So this skimmer is a beast, man. This thing's been going to town. I just cleaned it out yesterday, and this is the skimmate that I'm getting already. By the end of the week, this stuff is dark green and just nasty. You can see, man, this thing is awesome. Got that nice foam coming out of there. But yeah, definitely recommend this skimmer. It was worth the price, reasonably priced, and good quality skimmer. You can see here, trying to get my refugium back online. A buddy of mine threw me a couple pieces of macroalgae, so I got some Cato here, some Caulerpa, and I just threw that down here. I'm also going to get some mud and put down here, and I'm going to throw a couple mangroves, and hopefully this time my refugium will do pretty good, and I can get that back online. That's things that's been going on as far as that. Had some bad things actually happen as well too. Two things. When I was doing my monthly water change, you can see here I have a 30-gallon auto top-off tank, and I was refilling it with the RODI water, and I walked away. I was doing something with my son, and when I came back, my entire floor and all that in here was covered in water. I accidentally overflowed this tank. I had water everywhere, so that was a big mess. I had to clean all that up, and hopefully didn't damage the floor underneath. Otherwise, wife's not going to be too happy about that. So another thing that happened, everyone says it that float switches will fail, and it's not a matter of if but when, and definitely mine did. It failed in the on position, but luckily for me, my auto top-off tank was empty at the time, so it didn't dump all this into my tank. So yeah, that's what was going on there. It failed. What had happened was there was a lot of algae and crud that built up on the float switch, and I wasn't cleaning it, so it got stuck in the on position and just was kicking the auto top off on. So definitely a heads up tip to everyone: make sure you clean your float switch. I did incorporate that as part of my weekly maintenance, so every week I do clean my float switch. And you can see here, I've cleared out this top area here. The only thing I have up here is the foods, and then my Jabo DP4 doser. I'm getting that ready so I can start dosing. I'm going to put my dosing containers over here on the side, and then I've already got my holder there, and going to get this doser online. Like to throw a shout out to Simaguan Co. 2468. He did a product review of this and actually helped me out a lot in figuring out how to set this thing up and get it online, so appreciate the help, man. So another thing I've been doing, I've been dosing this Brightwell Aquatics Reef Biofuel. It's like a form of vodka dosing. It's supposed to reduce nitrates and phosphates. So I've been dosing this for almost a week now, so we'll see how that goes, see if it does any improvements for the tank, if it makes any other corals look any better. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Just realized that I hit over 300 subscribers, so big thank you to all my subscribers. Appreciate the support of the channel, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and thank you for watching.